So, we all love our cars, right? They take us to work on epic road trips and to get late-night snacks. But let's be honest, how many of us have actually thought about what happens when things go wrong? I'm talking about that sinking feeling when you turn the key and nothing happens, or seeing a tire pressure warning light flash on a dark, empty road. It's a scenario none of us want to imagine, but being prepared can turn a full-blown crisis into just a minor inconvenience. Because the difference between a disaster and a story you tell your friends later is often just having the right tools on hand. I used to work for NASA where we had a saying, "In God we trust, all others bring data." But a close second was prepare for every contingency. We had backups for our backups. Now you don't need a space shuttle's worth of equipment in your trunk, but applying that same mindset to your daily drive is a total game changer. It's not about being paranoid, it's about being smart. It's about giving yourself and your family the best possible chance of staying safe, no matter what the road throws at you. And let's be real, it also gives you some serious peace of mind. Today we're going to build the ultimate car emergency kit. I'm going to walk you through the 7 absolute must-have items that should be in every single vehicle. We're not just going to list them, we're going to get into the science and the simple engineering behind why they work and why they're so critical. By the end of this video, you'll be a roadside preparedness black belt, ready to tackle just about anything. So buckle up, because this is one of the most important builds we'll ever do together. Alright, first up, an absolute classic, and for good reason, jumper cables. We've all been there or seen someone there, that dreaded clicking sound when you turn the ignition. It's the universal sound of a dead battery. Your car's battery is essentially a small chemical reactor, and sometimes those reactions just stop reacting, especially in extreme temperatures. Leaving a light on overnight is all it takes to drain the stored electrical energy, leaving you completely stranded. It's a simple problem, but without the right tool, it's a showstopper. This is where the humble jumper cable becomes your hero. It's basically just a set of heavy-gauge copper wires with alligator clips on the ends. The principle is incredibly simple. You're creating a temporary parallel circuit. By connecting your dead battery to a working battery in another car, you're essentially borrowing its electricity. The current flows from the good battery through the cables and into your car's electrical system, providing enough of a jolt to get your engine's starter motor to turn over and fire up the alternator, which then begins recharging your own battery. But here's the key, you have to connect them correctly. Getting the polarity wrong, connecting positive to negative, can cause a massive short circuit. You can damage the electronics in both cars, or worse, cause the battery to vent explosive hydrogen gas. So, always remember red to positive, black to the negative on the good battery, and then the other black clip to an unpainted metal surface on the dead car, away from the battery itself. This completes the circuit safely. It's not just a tool, it's a lesson in basic electronics that can save you a tow truck call. Okay, moving on from fixing the car to fixing the passengers. This one seems obvious, but you'd be shocked how many people don't have a first aid kit. We're not preparing for major surgery on the side of the highway here, but life is full of little cuts, scrapes and burns. Whether it's a kid scraping their knee at a rest stop, you slicing a finger while trying to fix something under the hood, or just a sudden headache on a long drive, having a kit is crucial. Quick treatment prevents minor injuries from becoming bigger problems, like infections. Think of a first aid kit as your miniature, mobile, urgent care clinic. The goal is immediate response. A small cut might not seem like a big deal, but cleaning it with an antiseptic wipe and covering it with a bandage right away drastically reduces the risk of infection. Having burn cream, pain relievers, and even just some gauze and medical tape can make a huge difference in your comfort and safety. It's about controlling the situation and preventing it from escalating while you wait for professional help, if it's even needed. When you're building or buying your kit, think about your specific needs. If you have kids, add some character-themed bandages and maybe some children's pain reliever. If you have allergies, make sure there's an antihistamine in there. The best kit is one that's personalized. And don't just toss it in the trunk and forget it. Check it every 6 months. Restock any used items and replace anything that's expired. A well-stocked, up-to-date first aid kit is one of the smartest investments you can make for your family's well-being on the road. Now for a tool whose importance becomes blindingly obvious the second you need it and don't have it, a reliable flashlight. So much can go wrong with a car, and it seems to follow Murphy's Law. happening at the most inconvenient time, which is usually at night on a poorly lit road. Trying to figure out what that weird noise is, find a dropped screw under the seat, or even just safely change a tire in the pitch black is nearly impossible without a good source of light. Your phone's flashlight is a decent backup, but it's not ideal. You really don't want to be draining your phone's battery, your primary communication device in an emergency, just to see under the hood. A dedicated, powerful flashlight, preferably an LED one for brightness and battery efficiency, is the way to go. I'm a big fan of the ones with a magnetic base, which lets you stick it to the car's body and work hands-free. Some even have a flashing red emergency mode, which adds another layer of visibility and safety, turning your flashlight into a warning beacon. And this is the pro tip that separates the amateurs from the pros: always have extra batteries. Store them right next to the flashlight, or even better, store them outside of the flashlight itself to prevent corrosion from slowly ruining the device over time. Batteries can lose their charge, especially in the extreme heat and cold inside a car. So, every time you check your first aid kit, swap in a fresh set of batteries for your flashlight. A dead flashlight is just a metal tube. A working one is your key to solving problems in the dark. There is no sound quite as demoralizing as the rhythmic thump-thump-thump of a flat tire. It immediately ruins your day and can leave you in a pretty vulnerable spot. Now, knowing how to change a tire with a jack and a spare is a fantastic life skill everyone should have, but let's be realistic. It can be dangerous on the side of a busy road, it's physically demanding, and sometimes the lug nuts are just impossible to get off. That's why, honestly, a portable tire inflator is such an incredible piece of engineering. These little devices are compact air compressors that plug right into your car's 12-volt outlet, what we used to call the cigarette lighter. They can reinflate a tire that's just low on pressure, which can often be enough to get you safely to the nearest service station. If you have a slow leak, you can just top it off and keep going, checking it every so often. This is way safer and faster than a full tire change on the shoulder of a highway. It turns a potential hour-long greasy ordeal into a 5-minute pit stop. Now, to level up your preparedness, pair that inflator with a can of tire sealant. This stuff is like a magic potion for your tire. You spray the foam into the tire through the valve stem, and as the wheel turns, centrifugal force spreads the sealant around the inside of the tire. The escaping air from the puncture forces the sealant into the hole, where it solidifies and plugs the leak. Then, you use your inflator to bring it back to the proper pressure. It's a temporary fix for sure, but it's a brilliant one that can get you out of a really tough spot. If you could only have one physical tool in your glove box, this might just be the one. I'm talking about the Multitool. It's the Swiss Army knife of the automotive world, and its value comes from its incredible versatility. Cars are complex machines held together by an astonishing variety of screws, clips, clamps, and wires. You never know what you're going to need to tighten, cut, pry, or pinch. A good multi-tool packs a whole toolbox worth of functions into a device that fits in the palm of your hand. Think about the possibilities. The pliers can be used to tighten a loose hose clamp or retrieve a bolt you dropped into the engine bay. The wire cutters can snip a broken zip tie or strip a wire for a quick electrical fix. The screwdriver heads, both flat and Phillips, can tighten a rattling piece of interior trim or adjust a headlight housing. The knife blade can cut through a tangled seatbelt or open stubborn packaging for another one of your emergency items. It's the ultimate problem solver for all the little things you can't predict. You're not going to be rebuilding your transmission with a multi-tool, that's not the point. The point is having a functional solution for the 90% of small, unexpected problems that can pop up. It's about having the right tool, right now, without having to carry a 50-pound toolbox in your trunk. It empowers you to attempt simple repairs that can make your vehicle safer or just more pleasant to drive until you can get to a proper mechanic. It's a small object that provides a huge amount of capability and confidence. This next item isn't about fixing your car. It's about protecting you while you're stopped. When you're pulled over on the side of the road, especially at night or in bad weather, you are incredibly vulnerable. Your car is suddenly a stationary object in a high-speed environment. The single most important thing you can do is make other drivers aware of your presence from as far away as possible. This is where reflective warning triangles are non-negotiable lifesavers. They are designed for one purpose: to be seen. These triangles are engineering marvels of visibility. They're covered in a material that uses retroreflection. Unlike a mirror that bounces light away at an angle, a retroreflector bounces light directly back to its source. So, when a car's headlights hit the triangle, the light is reflected straight back at the driver, making the triangle appear intensely bright. This gives approaching drivers hundreds of extra feet of warning, which translates to precious seconds of reaction time to slow down and move over safely. The standard procedure is to place one triangle about 100 feet behind your vehicle, and if you have a second one, place it even further back, maybe 200 or 300 feet, especially on a high-speed road or around a blind curve. This creates a buffer zone, a visual cushion of safety around you and your vehicle. Your car's hazard lights are good, but they can be hard to see in daylight or confused with a turning vehicle. A reflective triangle is a universal, unmistakable sign for caution. Hazard ahead. Don't ever skip this. Okay, we have to talk about the absolute worst-case scenario. This is the tool you hope you never ever have to use, but if you need it, it will be the most important thing you've ever owned. I'm talking about a combination seatbelt cutter and window breaker. In a serious accident, a car's systems can fail in terrifying ways. Doors can be jammed shut from the impact and the seatbelt release mechanism can get stuck, trapping you inside a dangerous situation. This is where this simple, inexpensive tool becomes your key to survival. The seatbelt cutter is a recessed razor blade. It's designed to be safe to handle, but when you hook it onto a jammed seatbelt and pull, it slices through the tough webbing material in a fraction of a second. Trying to cut a seatbelt with a regular knife is incredibly difficult and dangerous. This tool is purpose-built for the job. It's about having a reliable escape method when the primary one fails. The other end of the tool is the window breaker. It looks unassuming, but it works on the principle of concentrated force. Your car's side windows are made of tempered glass, which is designed to be very strong but to shatter into small, relatively harmless pieces when it breaks. The window breaker has a small hardened steel point. When you press it against the corner of a window and apply pressure, it concentrates all that force onto a tiny area, exceeding the glass's structural integrity and causing it to instantly shatter, creating an escape route. Having this tool within reach of the driver's seat isn't just a good idea, it's a critical piece of your survival plan. So there you have it, the 7 essential tools that can turn a potential roadside disaster into a manageable situation. From jump-starting a dead battery to escaping a worst-case scenario, each of these items plays a critical role in your safety. Building this kit is your first step, but it's not a one-and-done project. Your car is a dynamic environment with heat, cold, and vibrations. Things can expire, batteries can die, and items can get misplaced. So here's your homework. Set a reminder on your phone, maybe for every 6 months when you change your clocks, to do a full preparedness check. Open up your kit, check the expiration date on your first aid supplies and your tire sealant. Test your flashlight and swap out the batteries even if they still work. Make sure you remember how to use everything. A tool is only useful if you know how to operate it in a stressful situation. Taking just 10 minutes twice a year to maintain your kit ensures that when you actually need it, everything will be ready to go. It's a small investment of time that pays massive dividends in safety and peace of mind for you and everyone who rides in your car. And finally, the goal here is to help as many people as possible stay safe on the road. If you found this video helpful, please consider sharing it with your friends and family, your parents, your kids who just started driving, your friends who love road trips. The more people who are prepared, the safer our roads become for all of us. Let me know in the comments if there are any other essential items you keep in your car. Thanks for watching, and stay safe out there.